Hey, good morning, class. Today, we're going to continue our osmosis diffusion lab. If you remember before, last time we talked about diffusion. And diffusion is going to be those particles moving from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration across the semi-permeable membrane. And if you remember from last time, we talked about going. Okay, sorry, Mr. Poland popped in there to give me a donut. All right, so does that help a little bit? Yeah, that's a little better lighting. If you remember last time, talking about diffusion is we did the iodine and the cornstarch. So if you remember, we started with cornstarch just in the bag. That's it. And then iodine in the cup. We put that in, and this acts as a selectively permeable membrane. And what happens after 15 minutes is the iodine goes into the bag. How do we know that? Is iodine is an indicator for starch. It turns color in the presence of starch. So we know that the iodine went in. That means we had a high concentration of iodine in the cup to start and a low concentration in the bag. So particles move from high to low through the bag. Now, the cornstarch didn't move because the particles are too large. They want to, but they're just unable to. And this is how we get stuff in our cells. We need certain chemicals, we need certain things in our cells, and this is how we get them. Well, there's diffusion. Now, what we're going to talk about next is osmosis. And osmosis is particles moving from high to low, but the particle we're talking about is water. This is extremely important to us. Why is this important to us? Well, you drink water and you're just like, oh yeah, it's great. But no, our body needs it, okay? We are, 50 to almost 60% water, our entire body. So we need it. And this is how we hydrate ourselves. So what's the lab we're going to do today? Well, the lab we're going to do today is we're going to show osmosis using gummy bears, okay? Now, you don't think of a gummy bear being a selectively permeable membrane or semi-permeable membrane, but it is. And in Google Classroom, you'll see this sheet, which I'm going to flip over here. Give me 1 second. Okay, and your sheet is going to look like that. 1 second. And when looking at osmosis, we're going to be looking at a lab that's called Observing Osmosis in Gummy Bears. And the lab is going to be a couple of different parts. And the first part is we're going to take 2 different gummies. We're going to take regular tap water. This came straight from the tap over there. The second cup, what we're going to do is we are going to put what we call distilled water. And this is going to be 100% water, okay? And I'll pour that in the cup. And there we go. So there's my 2 cups. So what we're going to do is we're going to make measurements and we're going to see what changes. Is it going to get larger? Is it going to get smaller? What's going to happen, okay? And that's where we'll continue here in 1 minute.